Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews, doing yet another beer that I got from BeerDrop.com. This is from Wiley Roots Brewing Company, Deep Roots Robust American Porter. Doesn't say anything about it other than that. Keep cold, enjoy fresh. They're out of Greeley, Colorado. No idea where that is. Doesn't say the ABV, but I looked it up and it's 7% ABV. So we get into the Spiegel Stout glass, which I haven't used in a while. And that pours, it's pretty standard dark brown coming out of the can there. Once it's in the glass, it looks opaque black, but it's really just opaque, really dark brown. Get a nice layer of almost like a coffee kind of light brown froth on there. Speaking of coffee, it has a coffee aroma for sure. I mean, not that there's coffee in here. It's just straight up just that lovely, lovely roasted grain. Yeah, it has like that kind of like dairy quality too, which you tend to get in like lactose type beers. As far as I can tell, there's no lactose in here. Yeah, but I mean, it smells like kind of like coffee with like, just regular half and half creamer or something like that. Also, some pretty piney hops in there. Not to the extent of like a black IPA, but yeah. So I'm getting like chocolate. I'm getting coffee, roasted malts. Little piney hops, maybe even a little citrusy, maybe. No alcohol, pretty clean fermentation, smells great. Let's dive in here. Cheers. Yeah, so up front, a lightly sweet kind of flavor, almost like an iced coffee or like a cold brew coffee. Again, like kind of like a half and half coffee creamer kind of flavor. I would not call it vanilla. I wouldn't call it chocolate. It's just like if you've ever had like a sweet stout, you know what I'm talking about. But then it kind of switches like on a dime. So it's going from like lightly sweet. I'm not saying it's like a pastry stout or anything. It's just a sweet malty flavor. And then it switches on a dime to just that lovely just real roasty malt flavor, like a French roast black coffee, and then it kind of leaves like a little bit of like a chocolatey aftertaste. It's really tasty. It has like almost like an English quality to it. Like maybe they fermented this with English ale yeast. I'm not sure. I'm not getting diacetyl, which you tend to get in a lot of English, pub style beers. I mean, they are calling this a robust American porter, so it's probably some White Labs 001 or something like that. Does not strike me as being, especially estery, other than just there is like a sweetness down there, but I wouldn't call it, appley or banana or anything like that. It doesn't strike me as fruity. Yeah, just a lovely, perfect contrasting pairing of like that. You start sweet and then you go in the opposite direction of going, fairly bitter. Yeah, in fact, I would actually consider this I would probably consider this better American stout. Like I said, it reminds me of a sweet stout. There could be lactose in here for all I know. I don't know. But I mean, they're calling it an American porter. To me, it seems a little too roasty for American porter. Usually porters are more like fruity kind of flavored, and stouts are more like the roasty and the bitterness. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that is really flavorful. I forgot to mention that there is like a little bit, like I said, like I could smell kind of piney hops. That does come through in the flavor. I think a lot of the bitterness here is coming from just like that roasty malt, which is really flavorful and lovely. Mouthfeel is, I'd probably put it at medium full and probably about moderate carbonation. It does not strike me as being, it's not a super thick, sticky thing like a Goose Island, Bourbon County, or even like a Belgian quad or something like that. It is like a little bit, 7% ABV, fairly big beer. It's just not, they're not, marketing this as a session beer, obviously. I think that this is strong enough that it would stand up to, like red meat, spicy food, something like that. Or you could have this as a dessert. or especially like a contrast dessert. Like you would have like a cheesecake or ice cream, and then you go from, you know, something really sweet to this. Yeah, I will say it's really tasty. I just think like the beer judge in me is like, you know, freaking out because I'm like, this isn't a porter, it's more of a stout. But yeah, I like it. I'm gonna go solid 4 out of 5 for Deep Roots from Wiley Roots. If I was judging it with a spec, it would probably score a little lower, but it's personal preference. Yeah, I like it. So I guess on BeerDrop.com, link in the description below if you want to sign up for BeerDrop. Use my code; it's gonna get you $10 off. So yeah, check them out. All right, if you watched all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Tuesday Night Beer School. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.